Everyone, it's Emily Fox. Today's video is going to be my September wrap-up. September was an interesting month. Way too busy for me. I have a bunch of videos I had pre-filmed that I didn't even have time to edit and post. So October will hopefully have a lot more videos, and I haven't had the best reading month. To be honest, the ones that I thought I was going to give 5 stars to, I ended up not liking whatsoever. But some that I wasn't so sure how, I was taking a risk basically trying them, I ended up pleasantly surprised. So kind of balanced itself out, kind of. But yes, I only finished 5 books, did not DNF, not finish any. And I'm currently in the middle of 2. So I think October will be easily better because, oof, was it rough. Let's go in order that I've read them. The first one was Hench, which was part of my Goodreads reading challenge in the sci-fi category. I had started it last month as an audiobook. I finished it, and the audiobook is okay. And I'm usually not a big fan of superhero stories, but the beginning was really strong, so I decided to give it a shot. And the ending kind of just I lost interest midpoint. You found this woman who is looking for a job, and in that world you have superheroes, supervillains, and she becomes a hench, so she works for a supervillain. And as she's working, she ends up being stuck in a battle between superheroes, supervillains, and she ends up being hurt, and she is very, very resentful and goes to the dark side. But yeah, sadly, the ending wasn't really up to my taste. But if you really love superheroes and you're just desperate for more stories, I would recommend that one. The beginning, like I said, is good. I'm probably going to give this 3 stars. It wasn't horrible. I thought the ending could have been stronger. Then, sadly, I think this is going to be my last book by the author, but Hostage by Claire McIntosh. I think this is my 4th one by her. The first one that I read was I Let You Go, which I would recommend. I did enjoy that one. And I have been looking for something good by her ever since, which there are a few authors that have done that. I accidentally read the best one first, and then I've been disappointed ever since. This one, the premise was fine. You're following this woman who is a flight attendant. She goes on the longest flight ever. And as she's working, she starts getting blackmailed about her daughter. And then passengers are getting killed, and she's trying to figure things out. Don't recommend the audiobook because the narrator doesn't make different voices between the husband and the wife. I was so confused. The whole video, the whole audiobook, I spent more energy trying to notice if she was changing her voice or not than focusing on the story, because the story was just not great. The explanation sucked. It just sucked. Obviously you might feel differently, but the whole ending, no, I didn't care for it whatsoever. No, if you feel like ranting in the comment section, just put spoilers before, and we can talk about it, because no. I feel like mystery thrillers, especially when the whole thing depends on the ending, if it sucks, it just ruins the book, and no. The reason I was listening to a bunch of audiobooks, because I couldn't finish this one. The Wise Man's Fear by Patrick Rothfuss. Adult fantasy, 2nd book in a series. I had read the first book last year. Went into it with pretty low expectations, but I enjoy magical schools, and overall was fine with it. I had been warned. You had warned me. And I still went to that one thinking, oh, I'm sure I'm gonna love it. No. I do have a vlog that's coming up. It's filmed. I just haven't had time to edit it. It's probably gonna be the next video. But I reveal all the spoilers. I rant plenty if you want to see all of that, but this video is spoiler free, so I won't talk about it too much. But I will mention the first third is fine. It's just that the rest of the stories, because it feels like 5 books in one, super disjointed. It was just so annoying. I wish I had put a post-it, but at one point when he goes to the second adventure kind of thing, the author literally starts a chapter, which not like this, but literally there's just that before it switches to a different chapter. It's the author was I can't be bothered. He just skipped it. No. And then I got to that section, which again, you guys warned me. I went into it thinking it can't be that bad. Wrong. I did film myself react to it. Awful. And then it got worse, and it lasts so long. I couldn't read more than 20 pages a day from this book. That's why it took me the whole month. So unpleasant. And then that part obviously affected the rest of the book, which I am mad that I read this book. If I could time travel, probably wouldn't waste time travel on this, but if I could go and talk to myself a month ago, I would tell myself not to read this. That's how bad it is. So if you weren't sure, If you wanted to continue, don't do it. But if you want to torture yourself, be prepared mentally. Biggest disappointment of the year, I think. Maybe not the worst, because Survive the Night was worse, but it's pretty up there. I can't wait to rant about this in my end of the year series. No. Will I read the third book? Probably. Because clearly I don't learn my lesson, and I just would want to know. Because I have no idea how he's going to end this series in one more book. Because in the first book, he's basically like after everything happened, and he's like announcing what he has done. How is he going to do that in one book? I hated this. It took me so long to read it. I feel like that speaks for itself. Then, pleasant surprise number 1. I went into this book with low expectations. If We Were Villains. Didn't know much about it. I know it has been compared to The Secret History by Donna Tartt, because dark academia vibes. I thought fall, that's perfect. I ended up enjoying this a lot more than I thought I would. I did listen to it as an audiobook because I couldn't finish this one, but it was the right decision because this is a really, really good audiobook, different voices, and because you're following a bunch of university students that play Shakespeare plays, it was perfect. I know nothing about Shakespeare. I've never read any of his plays, none. And we never had to study them in school because I'm Canadian, like I'm French Canadian. We read French Canadian books, which sucked. But never had to read Shakespeare. So I think if you love his plays, you're probably going to enjoy more of the book. You're going to be able to get more out of this book. But it is a like murder mystery, and it's not like a shocking twist kind of mystery. It's more like enjoying the journey, and I ended up really enjoying it. It was a pleasant read. So would recommend, especially if you are again in the mood for dark academia vibes, fall, October. The next book, Sunderland Sense, which was our Patreon book club pick of the month. And wow, I thought I was going to give this book 5 stars. I really thought so. I have this edition that's like old ones. Like I've been looking forward to reading this book for so long, and you follow the story of Sunderland, who is a headmaster in a small town, and he just got married to a woman he shouldn't have married because she's way younger than him and she used to be a student. And then they go on a honeymoon to the Tower of Babel. I can't say that in English. He thought it was going to be the most amazing thing that happens to him ever, and the first day he arrives, basically lost his wife, and the rest of the series, which is 4 books, I think, it's him trying to get her back. Look, I'm not already a fan of the relationship, and then I don't care for the trope of something horrible happens to a female character in order for the male character to change as a person and start his story. So it wasn't, the best trope for me, but the beginning was still good. The first 2 levels, because they don't know how many levels there are in the tower, were great, especially the number 2. Wow, it was good. But then I lost complete interest in the story. Like, it did not come back at all. Not a fan whatsoever. I was really bored. I was kind of reading in diagonal, which I never do. I couldn't be bothered. I feel like maybe it's the writing. It gave me a little bit of vibes of like Erin Morgenstern kind of, but like more action, I guess. So if you're looking desperately for something, this might be a little bit like that. Not a lot, but a little bit. The ending was okay. I feel like it started explaining how the tower functioned a little bit, but like, no interest. I'm so shocked. I thought I was going to give this 5 stars and it's like 2. I'm realizing I didn't give ratings. I would give Hench 3. I would give Hostage 1 or 2. This is a 2. This is a 4. This is a 2. This is my neighbor's cat. He comes and scratches at my door most days to just get some cuddles. I can't say no. I can't. I mean, he's scratching at my door. You can't really see him. Maybe like this. He doesn't love to be held, but he lets me a little bit. We call him Monsieur Moustache because of his half stash going on. But yeah. On the bright side, the 2 books I'm currently reading, I am enjoying. The first one is this one. I mentioned it in my TBR. The Girl Who Played with Fire. I'm finally reading this. The first book kind of could stand on its own, so I was nervous to see where it was going to go, but I'm only like 100 something pages into it, but so far it's about sex trafficking. You're following a journalist and he's trying to possibly make some arrest and showing that you know, it's not an incredibly organized and well thought crime system. It's basically existing because the police and like the judges are just not doing their job kind of thing. And it looks promising. And I'm also listening to the audiobook Firekeeper's Daughter, which that cover is gorgeous. I feel like I want to say more. It's going to be a mild spoiler. I'm not done with it. I'm 60% into it. So, but if you don't want to know anything, that's going to be it. But I went into it thinking it was like a normal YA book, like romancy kind of thing. No, they're trying to figure out what's going on with drugs, which that's, I guess, my fault for going into it not knowing anything. But the reviews were really positive. The cover was attractive, so I decided to try it. And so far, so good. I'm pleasantly surprised too. So these are the books that I finished in September. I will be posting my DNF, quarterly DNFs very soon in the vlog for this horrible book. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comment section if you have read any of these, what your thoughts were on them, what were the best books that you've read this month. I want to know, because clearly no new favorites for me so far. I have a good feeling though for October. Thumbs up, subscribe. I will be putting more videos on the screen that I recommend you check out, and I will see you in a coming video very soon. Bye.